Hey, Chris Voshall from Mizuno. I have got the Mizuno Pro 24 line right here. We call it 24X because we're a bunch of engineer nerds. X meaning fill in the blank for which model I'm talking about. I've got the 241, the 243, and the 245. These are fresh to the market. They actually came out a little bit earlier in Japan, so we've been seeing a little bit of action on those since late October, and we're really excited to bring those to the market now. So, 241. When you're talking about Mizuno, this is the type of golf club you think about right off the bat. It, kind of will remind you of the old days, of the old 14s, 29s, 33s. And a lot of people, when they first saw this, the first thing they thought of was the MP5s that came out a number of years ago that had almost a cut muscle design. The USGA RNA picks made it look a lot more cut muscly than it is. This is a true muscle back. There's not much cut out of it. So the idea behind this, super compact, super workable, really good performance, but again, we're not building in forgiveness to this. We're building in the ability to work the ball. So with that, we made it very short from toe to heel, smaller than we've ever done before, particularly when you get to the scoring irons. Very compact scoring irons. And then when you're talking about working a ball, spin is your friend when you're working a ball. You need spin to be able to hit those cuts and draws and all those different little things. So we focus more mass up high in the blade, which is why you can see what looked like a cut muscle to some people. So there's actually weight pulled to the upper portion of the blade that raises that CG, raises that sweet spot, and gives you a bit more spin. All that to say, super clean, super compact muscle backs, very traditional lofts, traditional components with it as well. This is a golf club that if you really know what you're doing, this will be great. Or you could put this at the bottom of a set and combo it with one of these other twos. So 243. The next step up in the line. This is the player's cavity version of our Mizuno Pro line, coming off the 223 we had before. This is the one that has the most change to it of any of these versus the predecessor. What I mean is it got significantly smaller than the 223 was. Much shorter in the toe heel direction, much thinner on the top line, a lot more compact on the scoring irons. All these to say, at address, it's really hard to distinguish this from the 241, from the muscle back. So with this cavity back design though, we're able to do a lot in terms of get more performance out of it. So even though it looks like a muscle back, you're gonna get a lot more ball speed. And the way we did that ball speed is by forging the long irons out of a chromoly material. When you forge it out of chromoly, which is the same stuff we use on our hot metals, it's stronger, it's faster, and you can still custom fit it. You can still bend it to your spec. But then we go in and actually mill from the sole side and remove some mass there to thin out that face all across the entire score line. So you get a large rebound area and very consistent ball speeds across the face. So all that to say, when you go down to the scoring irons, it blends to one-piece grain flow forged 1025 clubs. So I'm talking a lot of materials here, but that's the same material as our muscle back. So forgiveness in the long irons and speed in the long irons down to very players and really feel-oriented scoring irons. The next step up from there is the 245. This is the monster of the lineup. This is the one that just, we put it in somebody's hands, and the performance versus what it looks like are two worlds different. It looks very similar to the 241. Very clean, very short at address in terms of the head length, very thin top line as well, significantly thinner than the 225, but even more performance. This time we forged just the face and the neck out of the chromoly material. Then we went back and welded a back piece on that has a large chunk of tungsten really just deep and low in this head. It's actually almost suspended in the head. It's held in place by part of this back part that actually allows it to like levitate down towards the bottom, because we want to free up the sole to actually flex completely to give you a larger rebound area. So the longer irons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 feature that large slug of tungsten. The 8 iron, again, is forged from that chromoly in the face and the neck, but the back piece has no tungsten in it. That's transitioning us down to a half hollow design in the scoring irons. When you get to the 9 pitch and gap, it's a 1025 face, neck, and back, and literally just a piece right along here is welded in to make it half hollow. So again, it looks like a muscle back. It doesn't play anything like a muscle back. Tons of distance on these, tons of launch, tons of extra spin to help those fitters get you dialed in, but a really good performing golf club and a set of Mizuno Pro irons that can fit a ton of different players.